Good morning. What I'm going to tell you this morning what got me started as a young person wanting to grow vegetables. What started you? Okay, here we go. When I was a young boy, probably, under 10, my mom and I planted some castor bean seeds. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of a castor bean, but they're an ornamental. The beans are actually poisonous, the seeds. But we planted some of these seeds behind the foundation plantings in the front of our house. There was a little strip of bare dirt. And I was just amazed as a youth at these little, seemingly lifeless little seeds that looked like a little dried bean. When we put them in the ground and we watered them, they came up. And the next thing you know, they're clear up to the eaves. They got huge. So it really impressed me as a kid, and I kept repeating that. I kept wanting to plant something else and see how something else grows. So that's kind of part of what inspired me. And I think most people are like that they've had some experience that caused them to want a garden. Tell me in the comments if you had such a thing. All right, I've got one more thing today that I want to show you. And then I want to tell you about what I'm going to do next week, or start on next week. So let me take the camera and I'll show you what I've got. All right, I've been busy. It's a nice warm day today. I got the plant sitting out there getting a little sunshine, getting used to it, and it looks like the flowers there have already had enough. I'm ready better put them back in when I get done here. Potatoes covered with blooms. Tomatoes along this side. Okay, here's what I got to show you. Now this is the new raised bed, and I made this raised bed out of basically found materials. I had these old railroad ties that were sitting along the edge of my driveway, and when they worked on my house over the winter, they wanted them out of there because they said, they wanted the water to be able to drain away from the house a little better. So we pulled them out, and these four were in complete condition. And then the ends, these were pieces I cut out of a big beam that was underneath the front room that they eliminated. So this is just an idea to give you that, a lot of times if you just keep your eyes open, there's stuff out there you can grab and you can use to build raised beds with. Now, I know good and well somebody is going to say, hey, there's creosote in those railroad ties, and that's not good. And I want to assure you, these ties, when new, were heavily coated in creosote. But they were used for years by the railroad, dug up from there and discarded. Somebody put them in around my driveway, and I'm sure that's been years ago, and they've been through a flood and in the weather all that time. So there really isn't enough creosote left there to bother with. And I've got one more thing while I'm on the subject of this bed. I went and got the 2 bales of straw to fill it up with today. And that's basically, I gave the grass a real tight haircut, got my weed trimmer in there and just scalped it. And then I covered it up with these 2 bales of hay. Now, one bale was straw, and that's what I bought. That's what I ordered. The guy threw in the second bale, and I got home and started spreading it out, and once I popped the strings and started to play with it, I realized that second bale was not straw, but was hay. And let me tell you what, the straw looks a little nicer. It kind of stays a little lighter color through the summer as it sits there. But the hay does a nicer job. It spreads farther, it's finer grained, so it does a better job of choking out the weeds. And I just like it better. It breaks down just the same, does the same things. But I just think it does a little better job as far as covering the ground. And another thing about hay over straw. The hay, once it gets wet once, it'll stick down pretty good. And it's not going to move. Where straw can blow around, it can move around, even after it's been there a while. So, just letting you know, if you can get straw for mulch or hay, and it's not too much difference in price, I think you'll get about 30% more out of the hay. Okay, there's one last thing I want to show you. These are the onions going to seed. But I just noticed that right there. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that is the last rhubarb, the one that I thought was suffocated out. And now that root has put out 2 leaves after this long. So all right, we'll talk to you later. You have a quality day. Okay. I told you at the first of this video that I was going to tell you what I want to do next week. And then I forgot all about it. So I'm tacking this on the end. I got my garden set up where I don't have a lot of heavy physical work. And it's really been good for me that way. I've enjoyed it. People, I think a lot of people are in my position where we work, we do other things, we have families. And you want to garden, you want to get out there and do it, but the work involved makes it difficult. And it's so easy to get behind, and then the next thing you know, the garden's in such a shape that you just get the mower out and mow it down. So I'm going to do a 2 or 3 part series on just the basics of this. How to start, how to set it up, what you want to do, and I hope that's something you want to see. If it isn't, you know, leave me a comment. If it is something you really want to see, comment on that too. Well, all right. Thank you all very much. The subscribers numbers are coming up a little bit, and that makes it fun. Now, you like to see new people join in and let your name be shown, because if you do, and I see it when I look at my subscriber list, I'll subscribe to you. So that's it. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay, go.